Greetings and salutations, everybody. We have got a long list of things to do, so let's roll. All right, first things first is we got to get the 235 down to the other end of the farm because we're going to throw it on the disc. But we had a little bit of change of plans. We're going to use that tractor to take the marker up there after we throw new points on it, because after we get this guy washed up, we'll take it up there and throw it on the marker. But before we do all that, we've been thinking maybe it is time. We'll just get a new tire for this. It'd probably just save us some problems down the road. There's definitely a reason that we run it on the 215 that has skinnier tires than this one. Whoa. All right, I'll throw these hoses in and we'll pull it over to the shop. Okay, truth is I have not bought a camera yet and I've been filming on my phone. And I don't have much storage left, so I can't film a ton of this. But I still wanted to show you what we're doing. So this is the one that I just took off, and you'll see it's busted off. It's supposed to have one of those guys on it. A lot of them are chipped off. This guy doesn't even have one. They're either supposed to have a strong straight edge or like a hard-faced curved edge. But there are a couple of them that look like this, and that's a little thin. So these are the ones that we're throwing on. And you're probably thinking, those don't look very new, and that's because you are right. We are very big believers in recycling. There's another local farmer that had these ones on his and swapped them out for new ones. A lot of that could have to do with because they're this goofy style that you don't really see very often that's got this weird wing point on it. But we really just felt like they needed a new home, so we took them in. Some people call it being a cheapskate, but we call it giving things a second chance. On a real note though, we will replace the ones behind all the tires with brand new ones. But since I am out of storage, I'm gonna throw some music in and get this done, and I'll show you the after product. So this one right here is my last bolt that I've got to loosen. The bad thing about waiting so long to change these points is you'll see that that nut is not very square. It's a little angled, so we're gonna have to torch that sucker off eventually. But this one's not lining up, we'll have to adjust that. We're gonna have to grind a couple of the bolts off on these ones because they're just spinning here. At least all these ones behind the tires came off good. Now we can throw all the spare parts we need in the tractor, fill it up with diesel, and then we'll get on our way. Ready to roll. Well, it only took us over an hour to get here on the highway, but we finally made it to the farm. I'm lucky that today's President's Day, so there's not quite as much rush hour traffic, because that would have been a lot less fun. We might get some rain tomorrow, so depending on that, we'll either put our points on, get this thing ready to go, throw this guy on the disc, and the biggest hope is to get this guy going, because that is priority number one. Because for everything that we didn't plow, we'll come in and we'll run the disc gripper once with the rows like this, and then we'll run it again at an angle. After that, we like to come in with the disc and stir it up, and then if time permits us, we'll come in with the land plane and smooth it out before we mark the rows. But since there's about zero time, probably not gonna do any of those. Well, that's pretty sweet. Well, we ended up getting a little bit of rain, but it's super windy, so that's awesome. Got all the tires aired up, so we'll hook up and we'll take it down to the other farm. There is going to be a little bit of construction on the highway when we're going through town, but luckily this thing's not much wider than a tractor, so hopefully we won't run into too many problems. Oh, we were a little nervous it might be too sticky to be running this today. It looks like the rain's already dried out pretty good. I just made one pass up the field, and it's a little wet, but that's a good thing. I'll have to go back to my truck so we can grab the grease gun and get greasing. This isn't going to be super fun to get greased. There's 4 grease certs per section, so there's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. You do the math. And then we'll have to do all the wheels, all the hinges in there, all these hinges for where it folds up. Don't mind that. They're supposed to look like that. I'll pick that up later, don't worry. I've got a good feeling my phone's gonna fall down sitting right there, but I guess we'll see. Oh, there it went. The freaking wind's not gonna let me show you guys, so we'll come back when we're done. Finally got her done after about 312 minutes. My dad will be here in a few minutes, just waiting so that we can get his expertise on depth and direction and all that kind of stuff. I figured maybe there hasn't been enough entertainment in this video, so here goes a little something. Just FYI, I'm not a trained professional at this. Most things I am, but just not this one thing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sun's gonna go down if I don't hurry. Holy. Oh, I'm alive. Well, I didn't land it, but I also didn't get hurt, so that's good. Well, we're finally moving. Got everything set. You'll see it's not leaving it the most uniform. So after this pass at a 45-degree angle, we'll come back and we'll go sideways against the rows. It's not exactly the way that we wanted to till these fields, but when you're short tractors and time, you just got to do whatever works. Normally the old 235 can whip this disc around pretty nicely, but since we're in this freshly plowed dirt, it's a little powdery, and this disc has disc blades that are pretty close together, so you can see it starts to want to pile up on the front of those. But that's why we're going at an angle, so that it fills in all these little ruts that are left from the plow. Well, I finished this half of the field, and I came and I just disced these ends from where I turned around to go that way, and I'm pretty confident it's going to be pretty smooth. It looks good. So now we'll just jump to the other side of the field. Well, not a half bad view to end the night on. I know I said earlier in the video that we're only going to run this guy on the plowed stuff, but the thing is, we've got 4 fields here, and only about a third of this one that we're on right now didn't get plowed. You can see right there where it switches. That side's plowed, and the side we're on now is not. But this side of the field is really sandy soil, and that's why it didn't need plowed. And since we DMI'd it once, we're trying to see if we can just get away with double disking it so that we don't have to waste the day bringing the DMI back here. Because if we can go without running the DMI again on this, that'll do us a lot of good in the end, timing wise. And even after just this first pass of the disc, it's leaving it pretty uniform, and you can't see much of the stalks left. You see, that's what it looks like before. You got the stalks running down, but it stirred it up pretty good. And then it'll really flatten it out when we come back and go that way. It's getting pretty windy. It looks like there might be another storm starting to blow in. Yeah, I don't think that's supposed to do that. Now we're on field 3. 3 and 4 are pretty small, so they shouldn't take too long. Looks like we're getting some pretty good rain up there on the hills, which is good. We'll knock as much of this out as we can tonight, and then in the morning we'll start going the other way. Whoa, it's bouncy. Well, we've been having a little bit of sprinklerage all morning, and so it's been a little bit sticky. The good news is it is leaving the dirt nice and smooth. We'll definitely take this right here. Well, we ran out of fuel, so we're gonna have to run the trailer up to the farm and go fill her up. This is one of the only days I didn't bring a jacket and the wind is so cold. Well, we've got great news. The 340 is finally back running. It's been down for about 10 days now, which has been hard because this is our only big horsepower tractor that we've got on the farm. And so without this thing, tillage is kind of at a standstill. Well, it's approximately 12:17 in the morning. And after this field, we've got 5 more fields over there. They're not too big. And then that'll be everything we've got to do the first time, and then we'll come back around and do it again. Wow, time really does fly when you're having so much fun. I am very excited to go to sleep. Well, we're finally done disking. Finishing up this field, got that guy done, this big one, and then this big one right here up above. I'm glad we were able to get it done with only a couple setbacks. I'm excited because next video we should be ready to mark rows. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.